Don't tell anyone. This is our secret spoiler talk video for Furious 7.
The spoiler room.
The spoiler, it's really his closet.
It's my closet.
It's his closet. So for every movie we review, we're going to have a separate little bonus video where we can actually talk about spoilers so that I can actually talk about what I mean when I said this story doesn't work.
Yeah, and we could... Yeah, we're going to spoil things.
Totally spoil things. So don't watch this until you've seen the movie or have decided you don't want to see the movie.
Yeah, or you're like, I can't wait. I got to know what these guys think.
Yeah, what's between probably just that head?
And I mean, really, you should just be thinking for yourself, but in case you want to know what we're doing and what we think, this is it.
So first things first. When I said the story didn't really work, here's why. It's true, a lot of action movies, the story is just there to be an excuse to get you from one action scene to the next. But there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it.
They're doing it the wrong way.
Basically, everyone has to suspend their disbelief to a certain extent when watching a fictional movie, and that's fine. But the more you have to do it, the more difficult it becomes and the worse the story is doing. And let me explain what I mean by that. Everyone knows Superman does crazy stuff. He's not real. But you only have to suspend your disbelief once for that concept. You start at the beginning of the movie, you understand this guy does crazy stuff, but I get it, I buy it. And sure, he does crazy stuff all throughout the movie, but you've already bought into the concept.
He's a
so
superhero. It's a superhero movie.
What I mean is when you have every 5 minutes you're scratching your head because there's a new concept you have to pretend to believe, it's doing it wrong. When you start off and this guy is visiting his brother because his brother was hurt by the heroes in a hospital, but then you find out that he's killed most of the people in the hospital, you have to sit there and go, is that really the right thing for your brother? You're kind of destroying the structural integrity of the thing that's keeping him alive. But okay.
Oh, also, side note, the intro of his character, probably the coolest thing about that movie.
Yeah.
Where he took out everybody in that hospital. That was awesome. You don't actually get to see it, but...
You get to know that he did it.
Yeah.
But I still have to say, they're keeping your brother alive.
Why did he do that?
Maybe not the best move.
It's a hospital.
But okay, I got it. I can buy it. Then, you gotta disbelieve, or you gotta suspend your disbelief for that fight between him and The Rock, which, while awesome...
The Rock would have destroyed him. Did he rock bottom him?
Yes, he did.
He rock bottomed that guy.
You know, one of these days, I want to see a movie where someone actually gets thrown through a window and, like, real life...
Doesn't get up.
The glass, like, cuts him to death. You know, like what would happen if I jumped through a window right now. Just like the fight goes, he busts through the window and there's glasses in him and it's over. That'd be great. But okay, fine, we can buy that. And then people like Vin Diesel and Jason Stamos like crash head on into each other purposely at high speeds so much that it crunches their cars.
Also, they weren't wearing seatbelts because wearing seatbelts isn't cool.
And they walk away from it unscratched and you're like, okay.
Not only that, they fight each other.
But I was like, okay, fine. Okay, I got this. Then Kurt Russell comes in and says, hi, we need you to go after the God's Eye, a technology that can hack any computer in the world, which you're like, really?
What government agency did they work for anyway? They never said.
But that's fine. But, because we don't like political disputes, we want you and your street thug crew to go steal it for us.
Red tape be damned.
Who does that? So this is what I mean, like every 5 minutes, it's a new thing that you have to kind of go, okay, whatever. I thought we were focusing on Jason Stamos. Apparently now we're going after this God's Eye.
You called him Jason Stamos.
What's his name?
Statham. Jason Statham.
He's probably going to hunt me down for that.
Oh, God, he is. He's also the transporter.
Oh, God, he is.
He's going to come after you good.
No, but I mean, there's so many things in this story that makes no sense. Like, why are they even going after the God's Eye? Well, if you get the God's Eye for us, you can use it to find the what's the guy's name? Shaw.
Yeah.
The villain, Shaw. But Shaw's
He was
always
everywhere.
there.
He was everywhere.
They couldn't get rid of him if they wanted to. Every
In fact,
time they're doing something.
He was getting in the way.
Yeah, he was crashing every party. He is the most dedicated party crasher I've ever seen. So why did they need the God's Eye?
They didn't.
It didn't make any sense. There's just, oh my God, so many things wrong with that story. And then you get into the action. And like I said, the action's easier to swallow because you kind of understand this action's just over the top.
It
I
had
get
to
it.
be.
Exactly. It's not realistic. But, as Oz said, there comes a time when there's so much of it that you just check out.
Yeah.
You're just like, Oh, okay, now there's a predator hitting cars with missiles. Yeah, well, whatever.
Also, the whole the backstory with Michelle Rodriguez and her character having amnesia. What was that even about? I haven't seen the other movies. She had amnesia?
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. There was a point where he thought she died, like in the 4th movie or something. In the 5th movie, she came back, and he was pissed because I thought you died, but then she had amnesia. Some weird thing. I don't even know the full story myself. But here's the problem. It added nothing to the movie. Nothing. Her whole amnesia thing added nothing. You could have cut out everything. You could have cut out her entire character. And the movie would not have changed except for the fact that it would have been like one less car in the gang.
We spent money on that movie.
You know, the more I talk about this, the more...
Man, why? Are you really tearing it up?
Wow. There are some good things. I really do think Vin Diesel did a great job in the movie. I think The Rock did a good job too. I think the actors did a good job of what they were trying to do. I think some of the action was really cool.
Rotten Tomatoes gave this too high of a score.
It was like 82%. Look,
What?
I didn't have any faith in Rotten Tomatoes anyway, but when you look at Paul Blart Marvel Cop 2 and it sees it has a 0%, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That made sense.
But this one, an 82%, I don't. Like, I love Vin Diesel, but...
It has to be the Paul Walker thing, and I totally understand. He did a lot. He was, a big philanthropist, and everybody loved him. And it's an unpopular opinion to say that you didn't like the movie, I guess.
I guess.
I didn't like the movie.
I didn't like the movie. Did not like it. It was... 7 movies was too many, I think. I think that is probably dealing with sequel syndrome. This is our 7th movie. How do we make it even bigger than before? Because I think that Fast and Furious probably jumped the shark at the very least. And I know a lot of people can say after the first movie, but at the maximum, when Vin Diesel and The Rock had a throwdown, you really, to get higher than that, you're just going to have to start, I don't know, everything we just talked about.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
But this is just two guys' opinions. You might love it. Like I said, if you've seen Fast and Furious 1 through 6, go see 7. You're going to love it.
Yeah, this is just... I wanted to explain why I felt the way I felt. And of course, you can't really do that in a review because you don't want to spoil it. I will say that, in my opinion, there is one ridiculous thing that actually made me smile so much. Which was, and I kind of mentioned this in the review, when Vin Diesel put down the shotgun, grabbed 2 giant ass wrenches, one in each hand, and just started like dual wield fighting.
Yeah. When did he become a weapons expert?
Look, it makes no sense whatsoever, but I don't care because he had 2 giant wrenches and he was dual wielding. It was amazing. It didn't fit. It didn't matter. I do remember there was one point where Oz actually leaned over, and it was the point when The Rock drove the ambulance off the bridge and took out the Predator drone, which, again, how the hell does he even know to do that? But he leaned over, and he's like, that should have killed him. And I leaned over and said, really? Really, just now? That's the one that went over the top for you? Like everything else we've been through. And that's what you have a problem with?
Yeah, The Rock was healthy enough to get out and do all that stuff, but he was still in the hospital.
Why was he still in the hospital? All he had apparently was a broken arm, and
they had to see him flex and bust out of that cast first.
Look, I once had 2 broken feet at the same time.
True story.
They didn't keep me in the hospital for it. They told me to go the F home. Because,
he apparently just had a broken arm.
He had broken arm. I mean, why is he still there? You gotta imagine. They've been going all over the world, the Middle East and some other place. And
he could have been helping them.
Well, no, screw that. Just the medical bills alone. This guy just must love to burn money. Why is he still there? Like, it's these little things that most of the times, and I am a very easygoing moviegoer. I forgive a lot if it's entertaining.
Yeah.
This is a guy who liked Transformers 3, not because he thought it was a great movie, but because it was really fun to watch.
You liked Transformers 3?
I thought we discussed this before.
We're going to need a new segment.
My point is that I forgave a lot of that movie's flaws because it was really fun. But there's limits. There's so many limits, and basically it's a cost-win ratio. If the movie's really, really fun, then you can forgive a lot. But the less fun that movie becomes, the harder it is to forgive the inconsistencies. And I swear to God, they spent 90% of their budget on the action and maybe 5% on a writer of some kind.
Some would say that's money well spent. Not me. Not this guy.
Nope. So, that's pretty much just our spoiler rant. Really cramped up in this closet.
I know, I'm sorry.
So we're gonna go away now. Okay. But we're gonna try and do this for pretty much all our reviews.
Yeah, so if you want to be spoiled, we'll spoil you rotten.
Yeah!